Here's Bass, good from 51, this from 20, and he's got it in there. I mean, if they had gone for it and failed, it would have been devastating with this 21-point quarter run by Kansas City.
WNYwatercooler.com.
WNYwatercooler.com.
Would have been devastating 21-point quarter run.
You're a clown, Steve. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of you wasting our time on the air with your clown shoe garbage. Tired of it. Michael might want to entertain it. I'm tired with it. Lose the number, Steve. Tired of it.
Coast! Shut up! Just shut up for a second.
Look, Snail, back off, because you're just mashing it now.
You guys act like it's... Pick it up a little bit. Okay? Get your chin up. Smile. Smile. Okay? Dang, you guys, all right? If not, I'm not talking. Let's get rolling.
Welcome back. WNYwatercooler.com podcast. Subscribe to us on Spotify, YouTube, wherever. Just do it. We got me, Steve, and then we got Coast on the line.
Dan, man, what's up? Things are bleak.
I'm like of the mood to like give them excuses. I mean, which is not really my forte. But I mean, they clearly were not ready to play the Patriots. They just completely underestimated them.
I mean, I just think they might not be very good.
Well, losing
3 games in a row is a trend, and I mean, it's sorry. Defensively, with their current talent that they have, the players at their disposal, I'm confident that they're not good. So,
well, the defense definitely now is average, I would say. I mean, you take out Oliver, who is much maligned by me, but you take him out on top of who we've already lost this year. But the thing is, they didn't even run the ball well. Ramondre Stevenson, 9 carries, 34 yards. Zeke, 11 carries, 31 yards. 3.8 and 2.8.
Yeah, it didn't seem like they ran the ball well, but early in the game, like overall, but I think early in the game they did. And not only did they, I just felt like the end arounds and the swing passes, sort of extensions of the running game, were just killing us.
Yeah, the outside. Yeah, they just got the ball outside, and
they were barely. I mean, they averaged 6.6 yards per play in the game, and they scored 29 points, and his team was averaging 12 points per game on the season. I mean, it was just an embarrassing effort by the defense, start to finish, and there's nothing else you can really say about it. There's literally no bright spot at all. Mac Jones was 25 of 30 for 270 yards, 2 TDs. Didn't come close to throwing an interception. He fumbled once, but it was, we didn't recover it. And Mac Jones, we didn't come close to sniffing him.
We sacked him once, but yeah, it seemed like anytime they wanted to, they had that stupid floating pass to these like big hulking dickheads that like aren't fast, and they would get 12 or 15 yards on those. Like it's like just a floating, like a frisbee or something, and they would just get it. The guy would be open.
Yeah, it's like Chad Pennington-esque. Those. I mean, which we used to say, Mac Jones' ceiling is Chad Pennington, but they had plenty of plays they had like plenty of explosive plays in the game. I think they had 5 plays that went for 20 plus yards, and they had 10 going into the game for the season. And I can't even blame, it's hard to even blame lack of talent for some of this stuff. I mean, the last drive of the game to allow a 40-yard swing pass on first down. I mean, that's the stuff they're going to do. It's mind-boggling.
And then after all that, they had that 40, 30, whatever yard play on the first play after we take the lead. And there was a flag. And even Belichick's like, well, why do you throw the flag if it's not a penalty? Like he wanted to lose. And
I think so.
I mean, yeah, some replays looked way worse, some a little bit more inconclusive, but either way, they threw the flag and it was 75%, 80% chance it was a penalty. I mean,
At least 95, not 100. I mean, it was a penalty. The guy was more than a yard downfield. Maybe if he was a yard and a half, a yard and a foot, the guy threw the flag. How can you pick that up? I mean, that's the thing that if they wouldn't have thrown the flag, I wouldn't have cared. I mean, whatever. Like, I don't get illegal man downfield. I feel like it's just a rule that is, I mean, I'm sure there's some merit to, I don't know. I need someone to explain it to me. I've never played football. I don't know the point of the rule, I guess. But if the guy throws the flag, I mean, something had to be radioed down from like New York because there's no way the refs could huddle and someone could be like, oh, he was 2 yards downfield. And then another ref says, oh, well, my memory says he was, 34 inches. So pick it up. Like, that's obviously ridiculous. So they had to get it like a radio down and like, you got to pick it up. It's just crazy.
It does. I mean, and then so say they have to walk that back, you lose all that excitement. The players just ran 40 yards, and now it's 1st and 15, and we'll be looking for those stupid swing pass screen plays. To me, it's like that would have been the ball game. I mean, yeah, they still went down.
Yeah.
They made a bunch of plays, but still, I mean,
it's very unlikely they're scoring a touchdown if they don't get a 40-yard play. So
and then on top of that, they score they give them the free timeout. There's no chance they would have scored a touchdown unless they went for the touchdown. They could have gone for the win, which I don't think that's a Belichick thing. I don't think he does that, but at least not without Tom or Tommy.
I mean, it was a ticky-tacky PI call, I thought too. Like it wasn't like, I mean, Demario Douglas caught the pass. Or whatever his name is. I might have butchered it. These guys are terrible on New England, but he caught the pass. Benford runs in. All our listeners don't know what we're talking about. It was the pass interference on the last drive. They got them the ball for one, where if they didn't throw the flag, they had no timeouts. Guy catches it in bounds, clock's running. They probably spike, and they have maybe one play to the end zone. So they might have had one play and then a field goal. I don't know. But there have been under 10 seconds left. But regardless, Benford runs in there at the last second, tries to break up the pass. I mean, I didn't see. That was a ticky-tacky one. But again, it screwed us.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few plays, a couple of the Joshy Poo specials. But
the Taron Johnson illegal contact on 3rd and 15 when we sacked Mac Jones was absolutely a joke, too.
Oh, yeah. That even if it goes for the Bills against the Bills, I think that's the worst penalty in the league. I mean, a 5-yard illegal contact when you can literally call that at any point, pretty much on these guys. And wasn't there one when Diggs was running down and he was hand checking the guy? I mean, is that not illegal contact? I mean, yeah,
and I think there has to be. I think there has to be some subjectivity to these calls too, because I do think that the impact on the game should matter when they throw these flags. Like Taron Johnson gets called for the illegal contact. Mac Jones got sacked on that play. The guy was running like a deep out. Like it was just clearly not in the play.
Yeah, zero chance.
It was not a blatant call. It wasn't a blatant penalty to me. Like he didn't alter the guy's path. I mean, you can't give a team a first down on 3rd and 15 in a tight game, unless it's blatant to me and impacts the play. If it doesn't impact the play, don't impact the game that much. And it happens every single time I watch football.
Yeah, if they're not throwing the ball to him or in his general direction, I don't see how you call the penalty. I mean, you could say, oh well, and then they wouldn't throw it to him because he doesn't look like he's open. But how often does that happen? I mean, these plays are 3 or 4 seconds.
Yeah, and if some guy comes off the line, he's running across the middle, and the quarterback's in the pocket and he gets blatantly held, that's different to me. It's just hard with these rules because and then what would you call it in the first quarter and not in the fourth quarter? Yeah, I think there should be some subjectivity. I mean, look at hockey. Hockey, they don't like call penalties at all in like overtime or in the playoffs. Like it's just you
I don't
have to
want to
let
be
the
like hockey,
player.
though.
But you know what I mean. You have to let the players decide the game unless
Yeah.
there's a penalty that significantly impacts what happens. And these illegal contacts in the roughing, the personal foul of Poyer against Jacksonville. I mean, you see this stuff in every game. I'm not trying to say like, oh, it's screwing the Bills. Every game, the Browns Colts game after
Well, that was
our
an
game,
abomination. That was an abomination.
I mean, how do you take this league seriously? And with all the gambling and stuff, like you have to literally factor in like officiating if you want to be serious about gambling on NFL. Like what refs call, what penalties, and like it's insane to me.
Yeah, that
Anyways.
Colts game was just brutal. But yeah, and then they'll say, "Oh well, Josh Poo gets his rough in the passer ones." You can't. You know how hard it is to see when a face mask hits a face mask, which I think is exactly what happened. Yeah, did he embellish it? Probably. Yeah, definitely. But he hit his face mask hard. I mean, when you hit your face mask like that, your head jerks back. But
I do think Allen gets some calls on those for sure.
yeah.
And I think the roughing the passer rule in general needs to be like looked at because too many of these roughing the passers are just ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
But I did think the two they called on New England Sunday were late hits. The one by the DB where he like Allen really sold it. The ball was gone. That DB took like 2 full steps and then hit him. Like it, you know, I get I agree that the roughing the passer rule and some of these penalties are ridiculous, but I didn't think those two were. I mean, they were late hits, whether they were embellished or not. They were still late, and I felt like they both could have like avoided contact, but they didn't. So I don't know.
This is like one of the first games. Like usually McDermott has his team bounce back. This is 2 in a row where he just has not had the team ready. I mean, say what you will about McDermott, and I'll say a lot, but he usually has a team prepared. But what we're doing,
we got out-coached.
Yeah, we definitely did. We didn't take the best coach allegedly in history seriously.
Their offense versus our defense was a coaching mismatch. For that offense, this team lost 34-0 and 34-0 at home to the New Orleans Saints 2 weeks ago. They lost to the Raiders. The Raiders, we beat 38-10. They lost to them last week.
I think they had some guys
us.
come back, but that still isn't that good of an excuse.
Who, the Raiders?
No, the Patriots had some. I think they had some O-line, D-line come back and play.
Well, they don't have Judon. They don't have Christian Gonzalez. I don't know when those guys got hurt, but regardless, for that, we got sliced and diced. Like, from the start of the game. It was an absolute embarrassment. And I know all the talk has been about the offense, because that's what anyone around here likes to talk about.
Well, WGR
this
only
defense,
talks about that.
The defense has been, over the past few games, and is probably going to be one of the worst units in the league for the rest of the season, which makes the way we play offense in the first half extra frustrating.
Well, Von Miller doesn't play in the second half. Why the guy why was he rushed back? Floyd, I didn't see out there frequently. I mean, Epinesa made one play in the fourth quarter. Before that, he was a ghost.
Dude, these pass rushers had no chance. Jones held onto the ball for no time. Like, I think you said we had 1 sack. That was by Poyer. But we had no chance to rush the passer because they had the lead pretty much the whole game, and they kept us off balance. We, couldn't figure out with the motion and the ability to mix it off, run pass. I mean, if you get a lead on them, they're done. They're done. And we're down 10-0. We ran one offensive play. We're down 10-0.
Yeah, the first play of the game, he threw an interception. 4th time in his career he's done that. 4th time.
Unacceptable interception. Unacceptable. You cannot make that mistake in this game. It's the same shit we talked about versus the Jets. How are you going to lose to this team? You give them points. First play of the game. After we had 2 straight games where we're struggling on offense, to make that big of a mistake, how do you not see the safety? I don't understand it. I mean, I know these interceptions happen, whatever, But that one was just
You
terrible.
can't throw an interception there.
You can't throw an interception there.
Thank God Knox is hurt. I'm sick of that guy. He sucks. He's useless. I don't know.
Crucial drop 2 games
Play
in a row.
broken up. The play was broken up. I don't know if it was a straight drop.
Catch the football. Catch the football.
He should have.
It was literally hit him in the hands, in the chest. He gets hit as he
right on the ball.
Gets hit. I mean, give me a fucking break. Catch the ball, bro. Making $15 million a year. Catch the ball.
Why are there no trick plays? We run no trick plays. None. We never have trick plays. Our special teams never positively contributes. Like, do we get out punted? I mean, it's a stupid thing, but it matters in a scheme of an entire game. The other team always has better punts than us. Like, we're always starting deep in our own zone.
When you're playing like shit, like we are, and you're playing these shitty teams, sadly, that stuff matters. We, for 3 years now, haven't had to worry about stuff like this. But you can't give up 30-yard punt returns to a team that is quarterbacked by Mac Jones. I mean, we gave them the ball inside our territory 2 times in the first half. That gave them 10 points. You can't do that. If you're going to be playing, if we're going to be a team that's not very good, which we might have to talk like that now, you cannot give these teams the ball inside your own territory. That's free points, and clearly we can't afford to be doing that. Now, if we're scoring 35, 40 points and running these teams out of the building like we had been in the past, and you don't even think about it. Oh, they had, whatever. Who cares? They scored 10 points off field position. We scored 38 in the game. Like, it doesn't matter. But that's not what's happening.
I still want some trick plays. Gabe Davis, that guy was a ghost. Knox, a ghost. Latavius Murray, 4 rushes for 8 yards. If I ever see that dude running the ball outside of like the 3-yard line or like a short, like a 3rd or 4th down 2, I'm gonna run onto the field. I mean, you can't use that guy. 4 carries for 8 yards. I don't know. That was brutal.
He made a great play on 3rd and 15
on that swing pass. Yeah, that was a miracle.
A scramble.
Yeah.
So this is the problem. This is my biggest issue with the offense right now is that they're playing these first halves of the game. The pace is so methodical. It's like we're watching the old Bills where it's like we're the bad team where we're trying to shorten the game. Let's keep it close into the second half. It's like what we're trying to do. These drives are agonizingly long. 12 against New England, 12, 13 play drives, taking up 6, 7 minutes of time possession. And if you're not going to score a touchdown on those, you're really screwing yourself because you're limiting the opportunities that you're getting. I mean, we had 3 drives that took up nearly 19 minutes of time possession, 3 drives, and we scored 3 points. If you're not going to score 7 on like all of those drives, no wonder we're having a tough time scoring. We need to be way more, it's just like cliche to say, but we need a sense of urgency. Like we want to try and score early in these games, not try and just waste away the clock. I mean, it's brutal watching them.
Well, I mean, Joshy Poo can't complete the ball down the field. Is he connected on a long pass this year? I mean, the Diggs play where he overshot him. Yeah, it's a long pass, but he overthrew him by like 15 yards.
I mean, it was I'd have to go back and look at it, but it was like a 65-yard. I'm not going to get mad at him for overthrowing a 65-yard pass, but he had another pass on like the next play where Diggs was open in the middle of the field and he just like missed him by.
Yeah,
he just
that
missed
was a
him.
whiff pass too. Yeah.
And they're like, oh, the announcers didn't even know who the pass was intended for. So they're like, I don't know if it was Diggs or Davis or I mean, who knows?
Yeah,
Davis probably was running the wrong route, but dude, Allen. Allen, I hated him week 1. Told him he had to prove it to me, and I think he's proved it to me for the past. I think he's been good the entire season, except for the Jets game. I guess the all 22 nerds would say he was terrible against New England. I'm not going to sit here and say he was good, but I will say that that first play it contributed to losing. I mean, obviously, significantly cost them, and that first play just cannot happen. First play of the game. I just you can't do it. You just
And
can't do it.
second and short, we ran it all 5 times. We had a second and short. Is there any like imaginative? Does Allen really change the play at the line of scrimmage?
It's like we're our goal when we're on offense for every set of downs is nothing more than getting a first down. That's what it seems like when I'm watching. Like their only objective is to get 10 yards in 3 plays, and that's it. So, like, I mean, yeah, no imagination, no creativity, no. I mean, New England's got all this motion. They're doing the end around. They're doing these swing passes. They're doing all this stuff that it just doesn't ever. When was the last time we threw a swing pass and got 40 yards on a simple, easy swing pass?
Because we force it to Diggs, and there's already 3 people spying on Diggs. You can't run a play like that to your best receiver. You have to run it to someone they're not really expecting it to. And Allen, when the play breaks down, Allen, I feel like only looks at Diggs. He like panics and only trusts him.
Hardy made a really good play in the game, and then disappears for the rest of the game. Yeah, I think it was a 3rd down. We threw it out to him, and he like made a couple nice moves, picked up the first down. I mean, the guy is fast. He's fast and he's elusive, and like we tried to get him the ball like a little like in the Jets game, first drive, and it like didn't really work, and we've just like given up on it. Like that first game, I remember Hardy, all his touches were like 2 yards, but then we just like quit. We can't figure out a way.
Well, the only hope now is, I mean, Knox is out probably. Still haven't really seen a time frame, 3 or 4 weeks at least, maybe more. But so maybe they'll get out of this 12, quote unquote, 12 personnel. The WGR has to say that. Like they get paid to say that phrase or something. Yeah, 2 fucking tight ends on the field. We got it. I mean, they'll probably bust out what's his nuts to play more, but maybe they have to use some of these other receivers that they sign, make a point to sign them, and then they don't use them at all.
Yeah, these guys, I think they're pretty good players. Like, use them. Use Sherfield. Use Hardy. Shakir's made some nice plays.
Shakir had a few. Yeah. But, yeah, use one of those 2 fast guys, just a straight down the field freaking shot.
Just,
do that.
Yeah, I mean, design some plays for these other guys so that, I mean, like they say, well, like Allen says, like, oh, well, I don't know if Allen said it or whatever, but Diggs is often the first read and he's often open, so he always throws it to Diggs. Well, just make the other guys your first read and get them involved. Get them involved. With all the focus on Diggs, they might be able to have some, they might be able to do that effectively. And it can't just be Diggs. And I thought last game was a little bit better. Kincaid obviously had a much better game. Said Shakir had a few catches. I think like a bunch of guys caught passes. It wasn't like the Giants game. But still, who's making big plays in this team right now?
No, it's definitely not Gabe
nobody.
Davis. It's definitely not Gabe Davis. He had 5 targets, 6 yards. I would trade his ass. Package him with somebody. I mean, Terrence Marshall from Carolina. I mean, he's not done anything, but he wants to out. They gotta just. I don't know. They need a shakeup. First, I would want someone on defense or a D tackle or a linebacker, some sort of substance, and then try and shake up this. I mean, if they re-sign Gabe Davis in the offseason, that's going to be another Knox abomination. I know it.
Yeah, the midseason trade is tough because you gotta. I don't know, like. I
feel
like
we do hate new guys. We traded for one last year and didn't even fucking use him.
Oh, Hines. Forgot about him. What was I going to say? Oh, it's got to be a player. Like, where can a guy contribute right away, most likely? Like, I don't know. I could just see us trading for a receiver and just, like, making it seem like, oh, he doesn't know the offense or, and he just won't hardly ever play. Like, we trade for, like, I don't want us to do this, but if we did trade for, like, Jerry Jew or whoever the WGR people are obsessed with nowadays, it's still Hopkins. He'll play like 12 snaps a game, and everyone will be like, "Why isn't he playing? What's going on? What? Oh, it's going to take time. He needs to learn the playbook." Like that to me is just a waste. But like, I feel like a linebacker or a defensive lineman, maybe especially a defensive lineman, you can just probably plug in right away and more easily be able to contribute. I don't know.
Another guy I didn't notice was Rousseau.
I didn't notice anyone on
him.
D.
I mean, the safeties, they played all right, but
We were getting sliced and diced by Mac Jones. Our D line had no chance to do anything. The D tackles got blown off the ball. We just got owned, man. The New England Patriots were the better team. That's simple as that. Despite all that, we should have won. But
yeah, still should have won. But so we got Tampa coming to town on this. What a weird Thursday. What a different conference. But Buccaneers Bills. Why did they think this was going to be like? Because maybe Tom would come back, but didn't they know he wasn't coming back? Like when the schedule came out. This is a strange matchup. It's like Baker Mayfield.
The Bills are just a draw on primetime.
Yeah, I guess, but Tampa, like their schedule, this team is so weird. I know nothing about them. I mean, I know Mike Evans is having like a great year, which he always is, but
Is there still the rule about primetime? Like every team needs one or something?
No.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say maybe like they needed to get Tampa a primetime game and thought Bills, whatever. I think it's a great question. Like,
I think
Bills,
Houston.
Bucks.
I don't think Houston has a primetime game this year.
Okay. I thought there was a rule where every team had to have.
Yeah, they got rid of that. There's too many bad teams. Yes, spreads 8.5. Over/unders 42.5. Tampa, they've lost their last two to Atlanta, both at home, to Atlanta and Detroit. They beat the Saints. They lost to the Eagles. They beat the Bears.
They suck.
No.
I mean, what do you
I don't
want me
like
to say?
Bowles. I don't like Todd Bowles.
It's a bad football team.
No, they beat the
Buccaneers,
Vikings.
It's Baker Mayfield. They just lost. I mean, all we do is bitch about our offense and everything. They scored 13 points at home. The funny thing about we scored 25 points in the game, which like the way we got them wasn't how. Like if we scored 22 in the first half and then 3 in the second half, like I guess people would still be bitching. What if we scored 13 or 14 and then 11? Like would people still be saying like the offense sucks or what? Like 2 TD drives in the first half, 1 TD and a field goal in the second half? Like I wonder how the narrative would change there. But anyways, we scored 25 points. Miami, I think had 10 on offense, right?
Yeah, they had 10 offense. They had a pick 6 after they got screwed out of a penalty, but then the next play they scored anyway. They're better off with the result of those plays because their offense wasn't scoring anyways.
Yeah,
then that was a bad non-call.
There was another good team, the Niners. How many did they score? I mean, it's just I guess our standards are just like our standards are just like through the roof, but like I don't know.
Well, yeah, Bills fans, yeah, we're hypercritical, which we should be. But even like the national narrative, it's just to shit on the Bills. Oh, the Bills will always choke and Allen will fall apart, which always happens. It does always happen, but they love to jump on us. Which whatever. I don't really care that much about that.
What's the national? I haven't listened to any national media since the game. What's the narrative right now?
Like, is there is there Super Bowl window closed? Which I never understand that phrase. I don't understand what that means. Like,
dude,
to me, that's the dumbest thing ever. We could have 2 more head coaches in the next 8 years, and we still would be alive to potentially win the Super Bowl if Allen's healthy.
Yeah, no, you can't make judgments like that after 7 games. It's just I want to check this before I say it, but this is great podcasting here on the fly. But the Kansas City Chiefs last year, okay, they were 4-2, so a little better than us. Well, who went to the Super Bowl the year before? The Bengals?
Yeah.
2021 Bengals.
But even last year, the Bengals were bad. They started out bad.
Yeah, the Bengals in 2021 they went to the Super Bowl. They started the season. They were 3-2, 4-2. They were 5-4. The Bengals in 2021 were 5. They were 7-6. So like, just like we were in 2020, actually. The Chiefs in 2019, they win the Super Bowl in 2019. can't remember now. Yeah, they did. They were 6-4 in 2019. So it's
Well,
like,
yeah, it comes down to like when do you get your injuries? Do you get your injuries late in the year when you can't really pivot, or do you get players that come back from injury later on and you're healthier in January? Like, or do you have a player die on the field and then you have to cancel a game?
you gotta just like, you can't. Yeah, we're struggling right now. We screwed ourselves probably out of the really realistic. I mean, everything is still in front of them. I mean, they're 4-3.
No, not the 1 seed.
Well,
Chiefs
they
are
play
somehow
Kansas
5-1. The Chiefs are
They
5-1.
I mean, they play Kansas City though, so like, it's not impossible. I mean, I guess the point I'm trying to make is every single year we've seen a team just really kind of suck early and then just get hot the second half of the season. Cincinnati the last 2 years, Kansas City's done it. I mean, like, why can't we?
Well, yeah. I mean, the only thing with the Bills is, which is so strange with why they're so vague with Milano injury and the Daquan Jones injuries. Like, why aren't they just saying they're out for the year?
Well, I heard Jones could come back for the playoffs.
But they're still even saying like Milano. They're not saying he's 100% out. They haven't say like, haven't they had surgery yet? Don't they know if they're? It's very odd to me. It's like, are these guys coming back? Who's going to be there in December and January when the Bills need them? Like,
yeah, McDermott's a little weird with injuries all the time. It's like he's trying to like play games with, like, even last week when he's like, oh, we're just going to take it day by day with Allen or something. It's like, all right, we all know he's playing. Like, give it up.
yeah.
It's like he's trying to gain some sort of edge that like is really nothing because everyone knows. So I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, to talk about Tampa, you're right. I mean, this team, they're in like the worst division of all time. Even if they lose this one, I mean, they're still they'll be in
first place.
They'll be in the division race until the end of the year. Who, like Derek Carr or Atlanta's Ritter? I mean, Ritter just beat them, but like, give me a break.
Who's in first right now? Is it like just a tie at 3-3 or what?
I don't want to spend too much time looking at the NFC South. It's just such a pathetic division. But they don't like Tampa doesn't run the ball well. Baker, as we know, loves to turn the ball over. I just don't really know what to say much about this team. Atlanta's 4-3, Bucks are 3-3, Saints 3-4, and the Panthers are 0-4. They all pretty much have the same points for 115, 103, 133, and 112. And they all have pretty much the same points against, except for the Panthers. 133, 104, 127, 186. Like, Tampa's 1-3 at home. Lost 2 in a row. Their point differential is -1.
Yeah, I mean, they're not
like,
good.
There's not much to say about them. I like, who's their running back? White? I mean,
White.
This team, Rayshawn White, I just don't have much to say about this team at all. If we like lay an egg at home on Thursday night to this team, back-to-back 8-point favorite L's, I mean, that would be like the town might burn. I don't know.
We almost lost. We were 15.5-point favorites for the Giants.
I mean, we should have lost that game. I mean, they're inside the 10 like that. They get all the Will they have run like 4 plays to score?
They had a bunch. I mean, we could have lost, but we also should have just not put ourselves in that position. So yeah, were the Giants better in that game? Like, were the Giants, Jaguars, and Patriots all better in those games? You could definitely argue it. Like, it's not like we were the better team, and like, it's not like a week, the Miami game last year where it was like 500 yards of offense. It was a very weird game. We just got outplayed, or at least we were not better than any of these teams. So on the field in those games, which is just concerning.
Well, they have to come out and do something different. I mean, they got to look different. If they come out and don't score any points in the first 20 minutes of the game, or the score is like 7-6 at halftime, I mean, they're going to get booed off the field. And the people are going to be ready because the weather is supposed to be nice. I mean, people are going to be there early. I mean, there's not going to be any Bucs fans there.
If we have like a 3-and-out our first drive, I think the boos should start immediately. Especially if it's like the same shit, like a 2-yard completion, and then like a 3-yard. Or dude? I feel like we get stuffed for like negative 5-yard runs more than any team in the league. Every game, it's like we have a running play that goes for like negative 5. How is that even possible? Anyways, yeah, the boos are going to come out. I'm predicting heavy boos in the first half again.
Well, I'm just at a loss. It's such a stupid game. When I saw the schedule, I'm just like, what? Bills Tampa Thursday night football? It just is so dumb. And then the schedule after this is just so weird. I'm like trying to put the schedule, like my November schedule in my life together, and it's like Sunday night, Monday night, like it's gonna be a weird 6 weeks. We go Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night, right? The next 3. Yeah.
And then 425.
Yeah, a couple of 425ers in there.
I think we have like 4 in a row.
Yeah, it's a very, very weird schedule.
Yeah, but yeah, man, Thursday's a must win. I think, obviously, without a doubt. I mean, it's a must win.
I think Kincaid's going to be a focal point again. I think they're going to use him more like they did. I took his over/under receiving yards was 26 in that game. I banged that early in the day on Sunday, and he just came out. He got that in like the first quarter. I mean, finally. And now Knox, what is it? It's his wrist is broken. I mean, I guess we don't have time left. We only have a minute and a half left here. But I mean, this team is it's a very strange season. 4-3.
Yeah.
Strange.
Kincaid looks sometimes it seems like an accident when Knox actually catches a pass. But like Kincaid is so smooth. I really think Kincaid is going to be the rest of the season is going to be really good.
Well, he better be.
And maybe Knox being out is like just what we needed.
I don't know how much Knox really blocks. Knox blocks in socks, but so are they going to make Kincaid block? I mean, I don't think they're going to. You would hope that they're not going to make this guy do something that he isn't built really to do. But I don't know. 30 seconds left here. Right. I think it's just going to be an ugly game, like 23-10 Bills win. I just can't. I mean, Baker Mayfield, the guy's got moxie, and they have some weapons, but clearly they're not a very good team.
17-13 Tampa.
You have an L.
Yeah.
I like it. Wow.
It's
going to be
not good, man. I hope last time I predicted an L, I think it was maybe the Raiders game. I was in the dumps and they won 38-10. I might have to try and put the reverse hex on them all week like I did that time.
Well, bring a sheet, get there at 5:30 on Thursday, wear shorts, give me a party. Till we lose, I guess.
Later.
Stay there.
Peace.
Okay, it's gutter hoe. All about my bills like Buffalo. Shit, I'm all about the bills like Thurman Thomas.
We're not making a playoff.
I don't tip, I pay bills. Bitches call me Buffalo.
We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.